It was around 1 a.m. when I found myself on a long, empty highway. I'd been driving for hours, exhausted, with nothing but a lukewarm gas station coffee keeping me awake. The road was dead silent. No towns, no lights, just endless blacktop cutting through the dark. After a while, I noticed headlights in my rearview mirror. At first, it didn't seem unusual. Cars passed by every now and then, but this one was different. It wasn't speeding up like the others. It was slowly creeping closer, staying behind me far longer than it should have. Finally, it pulled into the other lane, about to pass me, but instead of overtaking, the car just stayed there, right beside me. I glanced over. It was an old, dusty red sedan. The paint was chipped, the windows rolled down, and inside sat a man, staring directly at me. Not a quick glance, not an accidental look. He was locking eyes, his face lit by a faint interior light. His eyes looked bloodshot, his expression twisted, almost drunk but disturbingly focused. My stomach dropped. I slowed down a little, hoping he'd pass. He slowed down too. I slowed down more, almost crawling on the highway. He stayed right there. The eerie silence of the road made the whole thing worse. It was just him and me, side by side in the middle of nowhere. Finally, I braked hard and dropped to about 25 miles an hour. This time, he didn't follow. He kept his speed and drifted ahead, eventually disappearing into the darkness. I let out a shaky breath, trying to convince myself it was nothing more than a weird, drunk driver. But about 15 minutes later, I pulled into a tiny rest stop. Just bathrooms, vending machines, and a single flickering light. I stepped out to grab another coffee. The air was freezing, silent. As I headed back to my car, another vehicle pulled in. My heart stopped. It was the same red car, only this time, he didn't park behind me. He pulled up right beside me, just like before on the highway. And once again, I could feel his eyes burning through the glass. I tried to ignore him, but then he leaned over and opened his passenger door. He waved at me, motioned for me to get inside. His grin was wide, disturbingly friendly. I shook my head, jumped into my own car, and started the engine. As I pulled out, I glanced one more time. His smile was gone. Now he was glaring, completely motionless, eyes cold and empty. Back on the highway, he followed me. Every move I made, he copied. Sometimes he'd swerve closer, almost clipping my bumper, like he was trying to run me off the road. I swear, at one point, he even tried a pit maneuver like cops do in car chases. I knew if I kept driving like this, something terrible was going to happen. Then I saw it, an emergency U-turn lane. In the median, it was risky, but I didn't have a choice. At the very last second, I cut across the road, tires screeching, and shot onto the opposite side of the highway. In my rearview mirror, I saw his brake lights flare. For a moment, I thought he was going to follow, but then, he kept going. His red taillights faded into the distance until there was nothing but darkness. Drove until I found a gas station and stayed there for over an hour, shaking, trying to calm down. Eventually, I convinced myself it was just some lunatic on the road. But 4 days later, after making it home safely, I read something online that made my blood run cold. A missing person report. Someone had vanished on that exact stretch of highway. Their car was found abandoned in the grass. The only clue, a witness said they saw a rusty red car circling the vehicle that night. The same car I saw, the same man who tried to get me into his passenger seat. The same bloodshot eyes staring through the darkness. If I hadn't pulled that U-turn, I might never have made it home.